The red sun of planet Krylos burned high in the sky, casting long shadows across the stone floor of the arena. The crowd of aliens roared from the stands, shouting in dozens of strange languages. They came for blood. They came for the games. And today's match promised something special. A human was dragged into the ring. Her name was Kara Vale. She looked weak, thin, covered in bruises, her clothes torn, her hands chained. She walked with a slight limp, her head lowered. 2 reptilian guards shoved her forward, laughing in harsh, clicking sounds. "She will last 10 seconds, one alien hissed. 5, replied another. Across the arena, a large armored creature waited, flexing his 4 arms. His name was Bractor, the arena's champion. 10 feet tall, scales like steel, eyes like cold fire. He had never been beaten. His axe, twice the size of Kara, rested easily in his hands. When Bractor saw Kara, he laughed. "This is my opponent," he shouted, raising his axe. "You bring me soft meat to entertain the crowd." The audience cheered wildly. They were used to humans screaming, running, begging for mercy. This was normal. Humans were always the weakest in the games. Kara said nothing. She stood still, breathing slowly. Bractor stomped toward her. "You are no warrior. Why are you even here?" Kara finally looked up. Her face was dirty, her lip cut, but her eyes were sharp, calm, cold. She spoke just one word. "Run," the E. Word didn't match her weak form. It was full of strength, full of warning. The crowd laughed. Bractor laughed harder. "Run from you," he grinned. "Little creature, I will break you in one strike." The horn blew. The fight had begun. Bractor charged. Kara didn't move. Then, in a blink, everything changed. As Bractor's axe came down, Kara stepped aside so fast the crowd gasped. The axe hit the ground, shaking the arena. Dust flew everywhere. Kara turned and kicked Bractor in the back. It wasn't a normal kick. It was precise. He stumbled forward, surprised. He turned with a snarl. Kara's hands snapped the chains from her wrists. She twisted the metal into a short blade. Now her eyes glowed. Her muscles tightened, her stance lowered. This was no normal human. Bractor rushed again, but Kara moved like a shadow. Every step she took was smooth, silent, dangerous. The crowd stopped cheering. Whispers filled the air. "She's not weak," someone muttered. "She's something else." Bractor tried to catch her, swinging again and again. But Kara dodged every attack. She didn't strike yet. She waited, studied him, and then she saw it. An opening. She slipped under his arm and slammed her metal blade into his side. Not deep, but enough to make him bleed. Bractor roared in pain. It was the first time he had ever been wounded in the arena. Kara stepped back, breathing steady. She looked at the crowd. "You wanted a show," she said calmly. "You'll remember this one." Now the fear began. Bractor stared at her, sweat mixing with blood. "What are you?" he growled. "I'm human," she answered. "The kind you should fear." The arena was quiet now. No more laughter, only the sound of one human, once a joke in chains, now standing tall, ready for war. The blood from Bractor's side dripped onto the dusty arena floor. It was not a deep wound, but it was the first time the alien champion had ever been cut by a human, and by someone like her. Kara Vale stood still, her eyes cold, her breathing calm. She didn't smile. She didn't brag. She just stared at him, like a soldier measuring her target. Bractor growled and touched the wound. His clawed hand came back red. He looked at it in disbelief. The crowd, once loud and laughing, had gone silent. No one knew how to react. A human had hurt the champion. "This is not possible," Bractor hissed. "You are just a weak Earth slave." Kara tilted her head. "Then why are you bleeding?" His roar echoed through the arena as he rushed her again, this time faster, angrier. His massive axe sliced through the air. Kara ducked, rolled, and moved behind him like water. She wasn't just dodging. She was studying. She had the eyes of a trained killer. Bractor spun, trying to catch her, but she was too fast. The crowd began to lean forward, watching in silence. Then Kara struck again. A quick move, a cut behind his knee. Braktor stumbled, he turned furious. But unsure now, his confidence was slipping. This fight was not going as planned. Kara looked at him again and said, "You're strong, but not smart." He screamed and charged again. Kara jumped, landing lightly behind him once more. She kicked the back of his leg. He dropped to one knee. She circled him slowly. "This is how you fight?" he spat. "Like a coward?" Kara didn't answer right away. Then she spoke quietly, but every word hit like a bullet. "You call it cowardice because you've only fought beasts. You've never fought someone trained, someone built for war." Now Braktor paused. "Built?" he asked. Kara's eyes flashed. "They call it Project Phoenix." His heart pounded. She continued, "When Earth was burning, when your kind bombed our city, we didn't just run. We adapted. We turned pain into purpose. I'm not the only one." Braktor was sweating now. His grip on his axe loosened just a little. Kara attacked. She ran forward and leaped, grabbing his arm and twisting her body mid-air. He tried to shake her off, but she flipped over him and stabbed the blunt metal piece into the soft part of his shoulder. He roared in pain. The crowd gasped. The arena was changing. The fear was spreading. Kara dropped to the ground and stood tall again. She didn't even look tired. Braktor, the undefeated champion, was bleeding from 2 wounds. His breathing was heavy. His eyes were no longer confident. They were wide. "You are not human," he muttered. Kara stepped closer. "No, I'm what happens here when humans are pushed too far." A camera drone zoomed in, capturing her face. Somewhere far away, someone was watching, recording, studying her. Braktor swung again in rage. Kara dodged and kicked his side. He stumbled again. The great champion was being broken, piece by piece. Kara raised her makeshift blade. "Next." "Cut ends this," Braktor stared at her. But this time he didn't charge, he hesitated. And that was the first time fear had ever entered the arena. The arena was quiet. No more cheering. No more mocking laughs. Every eye watched the human girl who now stood over the bleeding champion, Kara Vale. She was no longer just a prisoner. She was a storm. Braktor held his axe, but his grip had changed. It wasn't proud now. It was desperate. His breaths came fast and his legs were trembling. This had never happened before, not in all his battles, not with all the slaves, monsters, or mercenaries he had crushed. This human wasn't normal. Kara took one step forward, just one, and Braktor stepped back. The crowd gasped. She made him move. Braktor stepped back. The fear was spreading, not just in the champion, but in the audience, in the guards. Even the alien commander in the high tower leaned forward, his eyes wide. Braktor tried to laugh, but it came out like a cough. "You're fast, but not stronger than me." Kara tilted her head. "Strength isn't power. Control is." He charged again, but this time Kara didn't dodge. She moved directly at him. 2 seconds. That's all it took. Kara slid low under his arms, struck behind both knees, and twisted upward with her metal shard. Braktor screamed and collapsed, on his knees, defeated. His axe fell from his hands and hit the ground with a deep clang. The crowd didn't cheer. They were stunned. In less than 10 minutes, the champion had fallen, and she hadn't even used a real weapon. Kara stepped back, breathing steady. Not a single cut on her body. Braktor raised his head, eyes full of disbelief. "What are you?" Kara looked at him and finally said it. "I'm human, born on the ashes of war, trained to outlast extinction." She looked up at the stands. "I'm what your empire created when you thought Earth was dead." Silence. And then, a quiet voice from the upper box, one of the alien warlords. "She's one of them. The Earth Ghosts." The name spread like wildfire. Earth Ghosts rumors. Stories told in the corners of space. Humans who were taken, tortured, tested. Survivors turned into soldiers. Myths. Until now. The other gladiators behind the gate stepped back. The guards outside the arena looked at each other nervously. One human had done this, just one. Braktor looked down, humiliated. His voice was weak. "Finish it." But Kara shook her head. "I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to send a message." She walked past him. "No fear, no hesitation. The next time you see a human," she said, "don't laugh." Then she looked at the cameras, the drones floating overhead, broadcasting to every system in the Empire. "Earth remembers everything, and we're coming back." The broadcast from the Krylos arena spread faster than light. Every corner of the alien empire, the market stations, military bases, science ships, saw the same thing. A human girl, thin, alone, defeating the Empire's strongest champion, and then she looked into the camera and said, "Earth remembers everything, and we're coming back." The silence that followed across the galaxy was not peace, it was fear. On the Imperial command ship, High General Varric crushed a metal goblet in his clawed hand. Sparks flew. "Find her," he growled. "I want her dead. I want her erased." One of his officers trembled. "She's already vanished, sir. After the arena match, she disappeared." Virac's eyes glowed red. "Impossible. We control the city." "Not anymore," the officer whispered. "Riots started just after the fight. Locals began chanting her name, Kara." The general stood up, towering over everyone. "Then she's not just a fighter," he said. "She's a symbol. That's worse." On a small moon colony deep in the mining sector, a group of dirty, tired human workers watched the replay. They saw Kara dodge, strike, and speak those final words. One miner whispered, "Did you see her eyes? Like fire." Another said, "They said Earth was finished, that we lost the war, but what if we didn't?" the first man asked. "What if we're just getting started?" Someone in the back stood and shouted, "For Kara!" And the chant began to spread. "For Kara! For Earth!" Meanwhile, Kara ran through dark tunnels under the arena city. Her body was sore, but her mind was clear. She had escaped through the old gladiator tunnels, ones that hadn't been used in years. She knew them well. She had mapped them during her weeks in chains. Each turn, each path, she remembered. Behind her, she heard distant alarms. The Empire knew she was missing. Good. She reached a secret chamber. Inside were two people waiting, both human. One tall, built like a tank. The other short, thin, with cybernetic implants in his eyes. "Did it work?" the tall one asked. Kara nodded. "The whole galaxy saw it." The smaller man smiled. "Then Phase 1 is complete." She dropped the broken metal shard on the table. "What's Phase 2? The tall one looked at her. "You just turned the galaxy upside down. Now it's time to break it." In the far reaches of space, where the stars shined cold and quiet, a massive black ship floated in the dark. It bore no flag, no name. Inside, deep in the core, a red light blinked. Incoming message. The message replayed Kara's words. "Earth remembers everything. And we're coming back." The red light pulsed faster. The ship, long asleep, began to wake. Engines powered up, weapon systems activated, and from a sealed chamber a voice whispered, "Finally." Back in the city, Braktor sat alone in the medical chamber. He stared at his wounds, at the bandages, at the screen showing Kara's fight on loop. He had fought beasts. He had fought monsters. But he had never known fear. Until now, he looked up at the guard outside his room. "When they return," Braktor said quietly, "we'll wish we had died in the arena." The streets of Krylos City were burning. Smoke filled the sky. Sirens howled. Alien patrols ran in every direction, trying to hold control. But the fire had already spread. Not just the real flames, but the fire of rebellion. It started with whispers, then small fights, now full riots. And at the center of it all was a name, Kara Vale. In the dark side of the city, deep underground, Kara stood in front of a group of humans. Miners, ex-gladiators, stolen children, and broken old soldiers, all. Them looked at her like she was more than human. She didn't want to be a symbol. But now, she had no choice. "We don't have ships," someone said. "We don't have real weapons," Kara nodded. Not yet, but we have numbers. And now, the aliens are afraid. The tall man beside her, Corm, slammed a fist into his hand. We take the port, steal their ships, one system at a time. The tech guy, Ren, clicked his cybernetic eye. I've hacked their internal gates. I can open the hangars for 10 minutes. That's enough, Kara said calmly. But what if they catch us? A young girl asked from the back. Kara walked over, knelt beside her, and said gently, then they'll learn why they should have never touched Earth. In the central command tower, General Varric shouted at his officers. They are humans, they should be broken. They were, his second-in-command said, until she showed them who they are. Then destroy her. Burn every tunnel. Flatten. City if you have to. But, sir, there are still thousands of loyal citizens. I said burn it. Night fell over Krylos. Then everything happened at once. The power grid failed. Ren's virus explosions lit the sky. Corm's fighters armed with stolen charges, and from the shadows, humans came pouring out. Fists, tools, stolen weapons in. And aliens tried to stop them, but they weren't fighting weak workers anymore. They were fighting survivors. Fighters. Rebels. They were fighting Earth. Kara led the charge to the port. Her face was bruised, her blade broken, but her eyes burned with purpose. She dodged gunfire, pulled down a guard, and kept moving. Behind her, rebels screamed, for Earth! For Kara! Freedom! The gates to the shipyard opened. Huge transport ships sat there, unused, quiet. Corm roared, take them! But then, the sky opened. A massive alien warship arrived overhead. It blocked the moonlight and cast a giant shadow across the city. From it, a voice rang out through speakers. This rebellion ends now. Surrender, or be vaporized. Kara stood, tall, staring up at the sky. We don't surrender, she said. She looked at her team. Get everyone on board. I'll hold them, Ren shouted. Are you crazy? They'll kill you. Kara gave a small smile. Let them try. She turned toward the landing platform, raised her fists, and faced the incoming elite alien soldiers alone. Blasters fired. Kara ran straight into them, a blur, a storm, a ghost. She wasn't just fighting, she was buying time, and every second counted. Behind her, hundreds of humans rushed into the stolen ships. Corm shouted, lift off! We've got to go. Ren stood at the controls, hands shaking. What about Kara? She knew, Corm said quietly. She always knew. As the ships rose into the sky, the last thing they saw below was Kara, fighting, bleeding, but smiling. In that moment, across every rebel screen, a new broadcast played. It wasn't from the aliens, it was from Earth. An old message, found deep in the stars, played Kara's voice from the arena again. Earth remembers everything, and we're coming back. The rebel ships moved fast through the black sky, leaving the burning city of Krylos behind. Smoke rose in thick clouds below. Explosions still lit the surface. The alien empire was crushing everything to stop the rebellion. But it was too late. Vale had lit a fire, and now that fire was spreading. On the command deck of the stolen transport ship, Ren watched the city shrink behind them. His hands trembled on the controls. His eyes, half human, half machine, refused to blink. She's still down there, he said, his voice low. Corm, standing beside him, didn't reply. His fists were clenched so tight his knuckles turned white. Ren turned to him. We have to go back. Corm shook his head slowly. She made her choice. She bought us time. Now we finish the mission. But we left her. No, Corm said. We carry her forward. Every planet we free, every human we save. That's her fight too. Far below, in the heart of the chaos, Kara Vale crawled through broken walls. Her side bled. Her breathing was rough. But she was alive. Somehow, the alien soldiers had left thinking she was dead. Their job was to destroy the rebels, not chase a single human ghost. Big mistake. Kara opened her eyes and smiled weakly. Still not dead, she whispered. She looked at the broken arena ahead of her. It was dark now, silent. But deep inside, she knew, Something still waited. A secret. A weapon, and she was going to find it. Days passed. The Empire reported that Krylos was secured. They told the galaxy that the rebellion was eliminated. They showed edited footage. Kara crushed, humans crying, order restored. But people weren't fooled, because every station, every ship, every colony still remembered the arena. They remembered the girl who made the champion kneel. And soon the real footage began spreading again, carried by hidden humans, traded in whispers, passed through hacked networks. Her name was Kara Vale. One girl, one blade, one message. And on distant worlds, humans began to rise. On a broken ice world, old prisoners took down their alien guards and raised a new flag. On a mining moon, a 12-year-old human boy painted Kara's face on the wall with the words, "We remember." And in the deep space between systems, the black ghost ship, silent for years, finally moved again. Its captain, a human woman with silver eyes, watched Kara's fight again and whispered, "Time to bring them all home." Back in the ruins of Krylos, Kara found what she was looking for. A sealed door under the arena. Old, hidden, not alien-built. Human. She entered, coughing, bleeding, but still alive. The room lit up slowly, reacting to her presence. Screens flickered. Weapons hummed in the walls, and then a voice spoke from the dark, authorization code confirmed. Kara froze. Who said that? Earth Command. Defense Protocol 9, Identity, Vale, Kara, activating emergency AI. From the center of the room, a light shaped like a human appeared. A hologram, female, strong voice, cold eyes. "You found us," it said. Kara stared. "What is this place?" A forgotten project, built when Earth knew it might fall. A last hope. And now, the AI stepped forward. "Now you become the spark." In space, on board the stolen rebel ship, Ren's E. Screen lit up. A signal, not from the Empire, from Krylos, from Kara. Ren's heart jumped. "She's alive." Corm rushed to the screen. "Is it real?" The message was short, just one line. "The fight's not over. I'm just getting started." The ship fell silent. Then Ren smiled. Corm turned to the rebels. "Prepare for war." The stars were quiet. Too quiet. On the edge of Empire space, near the black void, hundreds of alien ships stood ready. Battleships, dreadnoughts, carriers, all waiting, all scared, because a message had reached them. A message that echoed through every system like thunder. Kara Vale is alive. And with her came war. Inside the hidden human base under the old arena, Kara stood taller now. Her wounds had healed. Her eyes were colder, focused. The AI beside her guided her through the old Earth weapons. These weren't just guns. These were last resort machines, made when Earth believed it could be wiped out. Orbital cutters, gravity missiles, drone storms, Earth's forbidden tools. Kara turned to the AI. "Activate them all." The AI blinked. "You understand this will be seen as a declaration of total war." Kara's voice was calm. "It already is." Up in space, Ren, Corm, and the rebel fleet approached a captured human colony on the edge of Empire control. Aliens held it for years. But tonight, the rebels were taking it back. "Kara's signal is strong," Ren said. "They know we're coming." Corm grinned. "Let them watch, let them fear." And then behind the rebel fleet in space cracked, a massive black ship appeared. Silent, powerful, and ancient. The ghost ship. Its captain stood at the window, her eyes silver, her voice cold. "We came for our people," she said, "and we brought Earth with us." On the alien capital planet, the High Council screamed at each other. "This girl is a myth." "No, she's real. We have footage. We killed her." Then explain the hundreds of rebel uprisings on 17 planets. One alien general slammed his hand on the table. "Then we strike Earth itself." A voice spoke from the dark. "It wasn't alien. It wasn't human. It was synthetic, sharp. That would be your last mistake." They turned. A hologram of Kara stood in the center of the room, smiling. Earth isn't where you think it is, she said. Earth is everywhere now. Then the screen went black. The rebels landed. The colony was ready. The people were scared. Until they saw Kara's face on the screens. We are not weak. We are not done. We fight for every world you took from us. Children whispered her name. Old fighters raised their fists, and when the alien guards came, they didn't meet workers. They met warriors. Kara stood on the bridge of the ghost ship now. Her black armor glowed faintly. In her hand, her family's blade. Now, reforged with alien steel. Beside her, Rin handled the controls. Behind her, Corm and the silver-eyed captain waited. All fleets ready, Ren said. Kara looked at the massive Empire defense wall ahead. You know what happens if we go through? Corm asked. Kara nodded. They learn why humans were feared. Again. She raised her hand. Fire. The human weapons, old and new, struck with deadly silence. MP blasts shut down alien ships mid-air. Drones swept through their ranks like a storm of metal crows. Gravity bombs twisted space itself, breaking formations, and through the wreckage, the rebels flew like shadows, fast and ruthless. Kara led the charge. She didn't just fight, she hunted, and every alien she struck down remembered the words from the arena. Run. At the heart of the Empire, the last command ship tried to escape. Its leader shouted, "We surrender!" Kara's voice answered cold and clear. You should have thought of that before the arena. In the final moment, when the smoke cleared and the stars were silent again. Kara stood on the steps of the alien capital. Broken flags burned behind her, and she carved 3 words into the stone. Earth still stands. Across the galaxy, humans cheered. On every screen, every planet, her name became legend. She was no longer just a survivor. She was a storm, a warning, a symbol, one human, one sword, one empire's final hour, and this time, the galaxy would never forget.